we made it to the stream mostly on time today, which was good. Uh, yeah, let's just let's just trade. So the reason why my entry is up here, or rather here, is because this is where we got that crossover was here. It was this candle. So I'd want to get in, well, I should have been in when it happened here, and then rather than um, getting in too late, when, like yesterday, um, yeah, we're not doing that again. So I would rather place my limit order up here, and if it doesn't take it, it just doesn't take it. Also, we can see that we are at a demand zone down here at the bottom, and because of that, there's a good potential that anything that we do short could potentially just reverse and just go all the way. So yeah, if this, yeah, this might be a false one, so I might actually just wait, but we'll see. We will see. actually want to wait and see what this does. Just because, yes, it could sell, but it hasn't. And like I've said from mm, yesterday, typically, if it's going to sell, it's just going to, right? And Nikkei doesn't do a lot of manipulation, especially this early in the morning. And so, if it hasn't sold, you know, at already, and it's been what, almost 15 minutes going on, then, I'll be like, why haven't we sold from here? What's at this? What is here? Because if you notice, we haven't created a lower low. In fact, we haven't, starting here, we haven't created any lower lows coming back down into this. So I just want to see what happens here because it actually might, we actually might get a buy instead. So I'm just gonna wait. That's why in hindsight, you always look back at these and they're like, oh, it looks so perfect. It looks so, and then you actually get into the market and it's like, wait a second, this this isn't as easy as it looked, right? Um, and the entries aren't as clear as they once were. Sometimes entries are very clear, especially, especially when you're looking back and you can already see what happened. But then when you're in the market and you can't see, those entries become a lot less clear. A lot less clear. See, and that is what would have put us in. But I want to see what it does here. So, because again, if we go back to my original chart, where is that? Yeah, if you go back to my original chart, a lot of these, a lot of them, a lot of them had zero drawdown. Look at that. 131 ticks, zero, zero drawdown, right? I want to get in on zero drawdown, and this is already telling me that an entry that should have been, honestly, probably would have been down here. You're already technically in drawdown if the entry was correct. So, um, I want these zero drawdown trades. And when it's doing this or what it did yesterday, because some of them, a lot of them were zero drawdown, but then at a certain point, like maybe 30 minutes later, it would go into some drawdown, but then it would continue. So if there's drawdown immediately, that's not, we don't like that. We do not. So anyways, I am going to see what it does here because it could sell. It's looking like the sellers are taking control. Maybe. You can really read the DOM when it's moving slowly. And if we went over to something like the NQ, especially during New York, you can't read anything. Oh, goodness. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Because technically, it's still a sell. So, but also it's early. It is still early. It's not even, what is it, 5:14. Jumping in again real quick. Did you see how quickly that jumped from 35 to 45? Well, it wasn't quick. It actually took forever. But, and it's kind of hard to see on this probably because of the colors. But, yeah, it's on this, right? And this is where my limit order was on this line. And then price jumped all the way up here, all the way up there. And it looks like we might get another crossover, which would be a potential buy here. Just because we're in this, I feel like there's a buy bias here, but I could be wrong, you know? Don't quote me on it, but I think we might try to buy back up. Yes, there's a potential for it to come back down. There really is. Um, so, you know, that's the thing about the market trading. You can't, you can't know. You really can't. You can't know. Um, there's no perfect entry. There is no such thing as a perfect entry, or I mean, I guess you could get a perfect entry, but you just don't know what the market's going to do. And so you could think, I think it's going to do this. And then, maybe it does. And then maybe it doesn't. So you just never know. And this is one of those where it's like, okay, which way is it gonna go? And that's the thing, you don't know because we are near the bottom, near a demand zone. So most likely we should be buying, but if we were gonna buy aggressively, it would have been something that looked like this, right? Where we came down and then boom, a very aggressive buy back up because we're right in that demand zone. Even here, we are right in that demand zone. But here, we're not, right? Where we've already, and we failed to come down twice now, and we have higher lows. So this is our signal to potentially go long. Let's see. And it's best also to just not overthink it. You just kind of do it. Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Let's see. it put me in the trade, but then because because the price was up here, but it was the sellers were down here and the buyers were down here. When it put me in the trade, it put me in down here where the sellers and the buyers were, but price was still up here. So it looked like for just a minute, it looked like I was up $100, but that wasn't the case. Um, it just has to do with um, where buyers and sellers were currently sitting, which was all the way down here. So having the DOM is actually helpful when it's something that moves slowly versus, let's go over here. The NQ might not be moving so quickly, but we'll see. Let's do, yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's go here. See, it's moving very slowly right now. But also still a lot faster. Look how price just jumps here. Where does it go now? Probably gonna jump down maybe, and 75 up. See, you don't get that on the Nikkei. That doesn't happen. Price does not move that quickly. But yeah, that was weird. Okay, well, I'm going to listen to a sermon, and I will pop in if anything interesting happens. But currently, I don't see that happening. Well, maybe, who knows? Um, but yeah, this is looking like it's flattening out. It's equal, right? So this could go either way. It could flip back into a sell, honestly, and then in that case, it's like, what are you doing? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, we'll just let that do its thing. And then we have a stop loss, $150. If anything, it'll probably take us out 200. And AK likes to skip over stop losses, so that's fun. Anyways, as you can see, that's how things get skipped over, because you notice how we jumped from here and then we jumped up here, came down, and we jumped all the way up here, went up, then we jumped when we stayed there, then we jumped all the way back down. That's how the Nikkei moves, which is why I don't recommend trading it, especially when you have a balance like this. The only reason why I'm trading it is because it's the calmest one I can trade without stressing out like a lot. So, um, yeah. Um, yeah. And then if this does go up, we'll probably move it to break even because, like I said, we do want as many break even trades as possible to get that one that just runs. And I've seen them with zero drawdown, and so zero drawdown is not impossible, okay? Right now we're at zero drawdown, and I like to keep it that way. Okay. Um, yeah, but I can't move it there because that's where price is, and there's buyers here. Um, yeah, there's buyers, and if I put a stop, which would be this is a sell stop, right? Yeah, I think that would mean that it would get canceled immediately. So I can't move it until price actually moves away from it. So to get that break even, but I am leaving it a little wider. But it's whatever. It's whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go listen to my Thurman and chill out. Sorry, I had to come back. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I am going to lock in some profit just because of where your account is. Because of where my account balance was, I need to start locking in profit just because we need to get to a better place. We need to be at a better place, man. And right now, we're not in a good place, okay? It was $900 when we started. Pretty terrible. So I am gonna move up my that my stop loss so that we're locking in at least 8 ticks, which is, I don't know. I think it's not gonna be enough to give me a day, but it's gonna be enough to just lock in something and also give this a little bit of room just in case, right? Because we don't want to lock in profit to our own detriment, right? But and price could also skip. It could skip all the way back down to zero, to be honest. So, um, yeah, I am gonna lock in some profit simply because of where my account is. Um, but yeah, hopefully this is one that, because again, there was no drawdown. Hopefully this is one that does end up running. Uh, if it does, we're probably gonna get taken out and lose. And that's only, wow, that's only because I'm gonna put it at, oof, should I put it at 10? What's 10? Yeah, 10 should be good. Um, okay, there we go. And that's only because, what was I even saying? I don't even know. Uh, why? Oh, because your account balance was so low. It was so bad. This is about where we started, but it's most likely, most definitely probably gonna come down. Um, I don't really want to put it in the middle of that. That's, oof, I don't even know. So we went up again. Oof, maybe I will. You know what? I'm gonna put it at 12, just in case it decides to skip its merry little way all the way back. Um, but no, the only reason is because I do want something I can work with, and ugh, yeah, it's gonna come down and take us out. Once this can come down here, the sellers come down here, it'll take me out. But until that time, we'll just be chilling. But again, I said this a million times, but what we want is to be able to come in uh 4 contracts and do this same thing, zero drawdown. These get these zero drawdown trades and get 12 ticks, because 12 ticks would turn it, well, not 12, well, it's currently at, I don't even know, it's at 15, but 15 ticks at 4 contracts is $1,500. So again, this is what we want. We want these kind of trades, these ones that have no drawdown. It is still early and it could run, it could come back into here before it goes, but I'm just wanting to lock in some profit simply because my account balance, as you saw, was pretty terrible. Here we go. So in about a couple ticks, it should take me out, hopefully, maybe. But yeah, we don't want it to skip. That would be bad. So we want to get out right here. Um, and that's the thing, trying to get out of these trades is difficult. It's like, where, because if it doesn't come, if it could potentially run down here, skip it. That's why I moved it up, so that if it does, it gives me a better chance of locking in a little bit more, and that's why I moved it up. But yeah, because the sellers need to be here in order to take me out, and they're not. So they're like they're one away. They're one away. And they keep disappearing. Where'd you go? Hey, honestly, if it runs even more, that's even better. Um but yeah, that I was just popping in to say that, because I did not. Why is this line always here? Every single time I come over here, this line is here. I delete it, unless I think I do, and then it's comes back. I don't know, because that same line was on one of these charts and I deleted it. Maybe it's that. Maybe I deleted that and forgot. Gosh. Anyways, yeah. But again, that's the goal. That's what we want to see. We want to see. Is it really difficult to see my screen? Probably. Um, yeah, probably. I try to make this bigger, but it's difficult. Okay, it's probably still hard to see that. Anyways, um, yeah, so that's what we want. No drawdown, great entry. Although technically I entered here, but technically I entered there at the same time. That was a weird one because I entered here, but it was really there. Again, the the Nikkei is so strange. It is so strange. So we've stalled out right here because the buyers haven't been able to push it up, but the sellers are struggling to push it down as well. But we're having a lot more sellers, so we should be able to push them down to here to stop me out. But yeah, anyways, at least it's better than what it was, um, which was pretty bad. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, so this will be your one and done for the day. Yeah. On days like this, you wish you went in more contracts, but no, I need to perfect getting the entries before I start going in more contracts. But that will be the goal, is to go in more contracts because then you only need this, right? Or a little bit more, but yeah. If I were to move this up here, it would probably take me out. I honestly don't even know because that's where the sellers are. That is where the sellers are. Dare I? Like dare I? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, see, because the sellers were there, but there were no. See, it's coming. It's probably gonna come down. I said probably. I don't know, but That'll give me a day. Um, Yeah, that'll give me a day at least. So, because I think I had two. Oof, let's go look at this stupid little stats performance. Again, what is that? Anyways, why is my P&L negative $94? What the heck? Why do I have 21 losing? That's probably when I was trading the stupid NQ. Don't get me started on the NQ. Yeah, that's terrible. I know. Aim for a win rate of 50% and for consistency, profitability. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, that was probably most solely from trading the freaking. See, overall, I'm in the negatives. I don't even know how that's possible, but it is, apparently. Um, yeah. Okay, so what was I looking for? Oh, I was trying to count my days. Okay. What is that? Look at these days, people. What the heck? That was the worst week ever. And I don't think I've ever had a terrible week with this entire account. Okay, wait, just kidding. I did. Okay, that's funny. Anyways, I scratched that. I did have a few terrible weeks. So I'm just counting these. So I had one, two, because I took a payout back in January. So I had to start over, so I need five, and so this will give me one, two. What's with this? What this I tell you was trading the NQ. This is why I always say don't trade the NQ, Lizzie, but then I always somehow end up trading the NQ, and it always tanks my account. That's what tanked the last account. I don't even want to get into it. Um, yeah. So yeah, the price is chilling happily at 95. Probably gonna buy up, but that's okay because I'd rather lock in some profit and then come back again and try to do it again than because now this 295, that's what I have to work with, right? So I'll be more comfortable risking it because I have that to work with versus, just slowly chipping away at my account, $100 there, $100 there. Next thing you know, the account's gone. So that's why I wanted to just lock in my profit and be done. Um, because eventually, I'll get to a point where I can just hold these things. But my account is very dangerously close, especially trading the Nikkei. My account is dangerously close to being gone, and we don't want it to be gone. So that is why I wanted to lock it in and call it a day. It's only been a 40-minute stream, but I'll definitely will come back, do some evaluation probably this afternoon like I did yesterday. And yeah, because I I would like to go what the heck? Yeah, I would like to go to the gym, even though yes, I did go to the gym last night and yesterday morning, and I'm probably gonna go back. No, I am gonna go back. Because yeah, and then I got some stuff to do today. Gonna meet up with a friend probably later. So I will be I will be out of here. But everybody, well, I say everybody, I'm talking to myself because nobody watches these. What does it say? Big trades should only come after you've proved yourself with small trades. Excuse me. Consider starting your day off with small profits, then build them up so you can start with a bigger trade. Always make sure that I'm starting it. You know, as annoying as that is, it's true, right? You want to build a safety net so that you can make larger trades, right? If you didn't have, for example, if your balance was like it was $900, okay, that's pretty terrible. If your balance is $900, you probably shouldn't be going in, you know, max contracts and be like, I'm gonna make a bunch of money because you have no safety net and one loss and you're gone, right? So that's the goal is kind of chipping yourself, like building it back up very slowly, a few $100s at a time, and then you have that safety net to take those bigger trades. And then also, if it's a really good trade and you're like, I'm super confident, nothing's 100% guaranteed, right? Just because it looks great doesn't mean the market's not going to do some crazy bull. What happened? I don't even know. That might have been a jump, might have jumped all the way up there. Looks like it did. Lizzie, are you regretting getting out? Possibly, potentially, most likely, whatever. I locked in my profit for the day, so I'm not sad, but I'm also sad. Okay, well, that's the way it goes, right? You get out because you're like, yeah, it's probably just gonna do nothing here, and then it skyrockets. How did it get all the way up there? That's so weird. You know what? Let me just measure. Let me just take the ruler out. This is where you got out, Lizzie. Actually, I got out. Oh, I got out down here, but technically it was there. That's because that's what the sellers were. And it went up an additional 9 ticks, Lizzie. Whatever. You can't go back. Mistakes we make. The lives we ruined. I'm just kidding. It's fine because as easily as it could have done that, it could have also done the reverse. So I'm not too mad, but I'm kind of mad, but it's okay. We'll come back and reevaluate our life decisions and our choices and how we screwed everything up. I'm just kidding. But that's cool to see, right? So basically, what we have seen is that we actually got in here. It is possible to get zero drawdown trades trading the Nikkei if you trade one during these slower times, and two, if you're patient, right? Because we could have been impatient, immediately entered here, boom, then you're in drawdown here, even though it's not a lot, but still, and then you don't get as much profit. But if you're patient, boom, 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 that's what you get. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready to start my day. Gonna end this really early, and yeah, I'll come back and I'll see that it, took off, went to the moon, and I'll be like, wow, that's great. That's just great. And I'll probably cry and it'll be a sad, sad day. It is sad, but also I didn't have a lot to work with, so that was my only purpose for taking myself out, was trying to give myself a little bit more wiggle room to hold longer trades for longer. So, and I wanted my 200 it's a 200 plus dollar day, so that I would actually count for something, because the other days none of them have counted except for one. So I only have 2 days and I need 5. So that was also the other reason for getting out. But patience is also a great lesson here. Patience, be patient, people. Because I could have left my stop, it was down here or something. Could have left it there, never would have taken me out. Most likely, I don't know. I didn't watch and see if because sellers could have came down here and it might have taken me out, and then it could, because price, this is showing where price is moving, but it's not showing you exactly where buyers and sellers are. And that's the thing, is because maybe if I make this bigger. Ooh, whoa, that's way too big. Wow. Okay. Thought I could zoom in so it was easier to see. So basically, for example, this is where price is and this is where it's trading. So it's trading right here. Okay. But for example, if buyers moved all the way down here, and we did see right where there were buyers down here and there were sellers, but price was up here, but the sellers were down here, the buyers were, well, it wasn't exactly there, but you get my point. So, and that's what took me out of the trade, because even though price technically never came to 190, price never came to 190, but what? Because that's where 190 is, not up here. It price stayed at 195, but sellers came down, right? Because that's where my sell stop was. Sellers came down and I got taken out of the trade simply because that's where the sellers were, even though price never made it there. So even if you look and say, okay, well, my stop, I could have left my stop loss at 185, right? Not necessarily, because if sellers came down to 190, it's also possible they came down to 185. I didn't see it, but they could have came down to 185 and still taken me out. And then I'd be like, oh, why did I get taken out of the trade? Price never came down here. Yes, price didn't, but the sellers did. And so that's the thing. That's why having the DOM is so important when trading the Nikkei. But I don't know if this is, I think this is level 1 market data. Although I did buy, maybe it's level 2. It looks like it's level 2 because there's a lot of more information than if you just had level 1. Um, yeah, so I don't really remember, because I did cancel my stuff, because the DOM is something that can be manipulated. It's not perfect. But when you're looking to see when you want to know where price is and where it's trading, this is what you want to use, because this is giving you more information than this is. Because this says, oh, price only came down to 195. Yes, but sellers came down to 190, potentially down to 185. They could have came all the way down here, honestly. And so if your stop loss was anywhere in here, you would have been taken out, even though it appears that price didn't actually go there. But the buyers and sellers were trading down here, and that's why. And so, as you can see, right, buyers are down here, the sellers are where price is. And like, look, see how a seller came down here? So if you had I don't know, a stop loss here, like a really tight one, and you're like, oh, price is up here, so it's not going to hit my stop loss. So let's say we're in a trade, your stop loss was like at 130, right? You'd be out of the trade, even though price doesn't come down to 130 yet, but the sellers are at 130. So if you have a sell stop, you're going to be taken out. Likewise, if you had like a buy stop or something, and like maybe it was, I don't know, somewhere, I don't even know, but let's just say that you had a buy stop or something, wherever the sellers and buyers are, that's where you're getting taken out, not necessarily where price is. So that's just something to keep in mind. Keep in mind, if you decide to trade the Nikkei, I don't recommend it, although it's a lot calmer than the freaking NQ, and that's where I lost all of my money. Oh my gosh. I'll do it later. Okay, there's a little thing that said restart your browser. No, thank you. I'm gonna walk away because now looking at this, I'm just like, okay. So yeah, we're gonna close out of that. Wow, look at that. And remember, we got in right there. So I'm gonna draw a line at 130, and then we'll see where price goes from. Yeah, we'll see where price goes from here. But that was our initial entry. Um, that was our initial entry. We lock in some profit just because of, and now we're gonna watch the trade take off all the way to the moon. It's gonna go all the way up here. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna be like a $3,000 day, and I'll just be like, what are you doing with your life? Anyways, yeah, that's all I have for today.